pushing down, hold it there, and I'm pulling out. Keep your shoulder blade tight. Oh, it's starting to fall.
Sorry, Jenna.
And relax.
Yeah,
I wonder if I'm weak. That's perfect. Now hold it there. Don't let me pull you out of it. And relax. Okay, neither one of us are breathing it down. Now,
What's my grade?
oh, 5+, 5+, 5++. So the trick on that one is that we really are looking at scapular position, not humeral position. So if they're not retracted, they're not in the test position. Some of you, can't get this in. Some of you are not going to have the very good scapular motor control, and so you are going to need to make sure that you have that person in retraction and elevation. Okay, that combo is going to be tricky. We're also going to see that for lower trap is going to be a little bit tricky as well. Okay, so it may be that people cannot do this in prone, and you won't be able to get them to do that combo unless they're sitting. Right.
In the book, it shows that the head is facing like towards the side that's being tested. Is that what we want?
Is it explicitly in the directions, or is it just in the picture? Because I would like the spine to be as straight as possible, and I don't know what muscles you would be eliminating by having the head turned.
You'd be stretching the upper portion of the trap,
Which
but
then
doesn't do anything with the lower body.
right. And you've got elevation, so you're going to have some upper trap in there, but you're not going to want to stretch a one joint muscle. So my guess is it's more that the picture doesn't have the head in neutral.
It says test for rhomboids and levator. Would that be why? Is it for like levator that you had to have like that?
So you have them turn as, even though it's, I want you to use your arm to move your shoulder blade in towards your spine. So up like that, good, and come back down. So full available range of motion is scapular retraction, not shoulder horizontal abduction. Okay? So full available range of motion, again, can you do that for me? Squeeze your shoulder blade, great, and come on back down. Okay. So the reason it's important that the thumb is up, because we can attempt to isolate the rhomboids by then doing palm down. Okay? But the full available range of motion is the same. It's making sure she can do retraction. So for middle trap, go ahead and squeeze your shoulder blade in. Now this time, like I am going to just keep my hand here so I can palpate, and I'm going to push here. Now don't let me pull your shoulder blade down. Keep that shoulder blade in. Ah! And I wouldn't want her head turned to the side. She's getting tired. Okay, relax. Now if I wanted to just torment her more right now, which seems kind of fun, goes down to rhomboids. So we're going to have her here. Aren't you glad you volunteered?
Yeah.
Okay, under your forehead for me so you're not extended. There you go. Okay, so now to do rhomboids, we just do hand down. Squeeze your shoulder blade in again for me and relax.
Wasn't the first one rhomboids too?
We did this one is a group test for rhomboids. This is to isolate rhomboids with palm down. So squeeze again for me. Okay, hold on, relax. So she's going up into elevation, and we want her to just go, there you go. Okay, now hold it there. And relax. I was trying to be kind. All right, so we did the group test, which is this, right? Then upper trap is like this, rhomboids, this. Now lower trap, we're gonna bring the arm back up to that 135-degree position. Now lower trap, what is it going to do to the scapula? Retract and depress. So, Jenna, what I'm going to have you do is lift your arm up off the table like Superman. In the process of that, I want you to pull your shoulder blade in and down. Oh, look at, you're a pro at that. Okay, can you hold it there for me?
Yep.
And relax. You're the one that has a crazy range of motion, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, she doesn't have stability because she has so much mobility. I mean, do you remember? She has like 200 degrees of shoulder flexion. So that's what's going on here is you can't have both, right? So that's how you do lower trap, is at 135. Again, they have to get scapular depression and retraction. Otherwise, it's not a valid test. That's the full available range of motion. And even though we're pushing through the humerus, we're looking for scapular motions. So for all of these periscapular ones, we're using the humerus as a lever, but we really care about what's going on, how the scapula itself is moving. In this position, and what I'd like you to do is go ahead and flip your hand over so your palm is down. Okay, just like that. I want you to have your elbow not quite so bent, so we're going to come to here like that. Okay, now I'm going to have you go ahead and flip it over. Now I'm going to try to flip you over without giving you a spider bite. Okay, that's the tricky part of this. Okay, so what you don't want to do, go ahead and relax. What you don't want to do is do it all with your fingertips because that's going to be really uncomfortable. So you really want to use as much as your hand as possible. And again, what you don't want to do is use your hand to flip. If you can, you want to try to use your, you want to use your body to get that to flip over, okay? All right, so we're in this 50 degrees of flexion. We're here. Your hand is palm down. I'm going to try to pull you out, and I want you to not let me. Okay, ready? Are you sure you're ready? I think so. And relax. Okay, you can see that a lot of other things are recruiting there. And it's a pretty awkward one to do. Okay, now one of those is a 2-joint muscle, and one of them is a 1-joint muscle. Which is the 2-joint muscle? Teres or quadratus? Teres. And what is the teres cross? The elbow. So if we want to try to create active insufficiency of the pronator teres so that we can test the pronator quadratus on its own, what are we going to do at the elbow?
Flex the elbow.
We're going to flex the elbow. So we're going to flex the elbow now, and I'm going to have you pronate again. Now again, I'm going to try to pull you out of that. This time I'm going to use both hands because we're up here. And so I want you to hold it there and don't let me unmove you. Okay. Don't let me unmove you. That's a bunch of negatives. You hold your hand there and don't let me move it, okay? And relax. Good. Okay? So that's how we're going to test the pronators as a group at 50 degrees, and then we're going to test at full flexion to get rid of pronator teres. Okay? Now for all of this, right? And you're going to have your hand turned that way. So we've got the shoulder in extension, the elbow in extension. I'm supporting her arm that way. She's already demonstrated that she can fully supinate, so I would have done that first, right? Okay, so do you know what you're going to do is hold your hand there. I'm going to try to turn it that way, and you don't let me. So I'm stabilizing the proximal segment. Okay, ready? Hold it there. And relax. Okay? So pronator group, pronation with the arm at 50. So to do the full range of motion, I would just have them bend to 90 and just do full pronation and supination all at the same time. To test pronators as a group, you're going to have them at 50 degrees elbow flexion. To test pronator quadratus, you're going to have full elbow flexion. To test supinator, you're going to have the arm extended at the shoulder and at the elbow. The arm's fully supinated, and you're trying to pull them into pronation. Okay? It's going to get tricky, so what I'm going to do is try to push you out of this, and I don't want you to let me, okay? Again, I'm stabilizing the proximal segment. It's the same rules all the time, right? So I'm going to push down, and you know, there you go. Clearly getting some radialis in there. Oh my God, give me a cat pepper next time. Okay. Okay. I'm getting poopered. All right, so we're here again. Now what muscle are we doing if she's in neutral rotation? Brachioradialis. I'm holding her there. Go ahead. Oh, thank you. And you can see she's got just a stunning brachioradialis. Okay, and relax. Now we would flip her down. We are pretending that we're testing brachialis because just that amount of pronation has magically taken the biceps out of things, right? I shouldn't be so sarcastic, I'm sorry. Go ahead and hold it there. And clearly she's still getting biceps, right? And relax. Good. Okay, so that's how the